Lesson 7, Origin of Earthquakes, Question and Answers. Factual questions. Who took care of Yagdor and why? After his parents' untimely death, he lived with his grandparents and grew up with them. So, what will be the answer? The answer will be Yagdor grandparents took care of him because of untimely death of his parents or because his parents died untimely. Next question. Why did villagers move around the woods and grassland? People lived in villages, moved around in woodland and grassland on the bank of rivers in search of stumps of trees and other chunks of wood so that they can sell them. Okay, so the answer will be the villagers moved around the woods and grassland in search of stumps of trees and other chunks of wood to sell them and earn money. Next, what did Yagdur do when the elephant was close to him? Answer is Yagdur closed his eyes and faked being dead when elephant came close to him. Or we can write, when the elephant was close to him, he closed his eyes and faked being dead. How did the villagers look up to Yagdor after he returned? So here is the answer. The people of the village with whom Yagdor had gone to grassland were also amazed at the boy's return. So the answer is the people of the village with whom Yagdor had gone to grassland were amazed at the boy's return. They wondered whether they saw a real elephant or merely a tree stump or just an illusion. How many men accompanied Yagdor? 3 men accompanied Yagdor. 3 men accompanied Yagdor. Sixth, mention the names of the men who accompanied Yagdor. So the answer is Mipung, Ipung, Ipung and Karpung. So they are Mipung, Ipung and Karpung. Why did Yagdor send Mipung to a village? So the answer is Yagdor sent Mipung to fetch fire from the village house. Where was the old woman sitting? Answer is the old woman was sitting on a platform annexed to the veranda in front part of the house. Next, who threw the old woman far away and why? The answer is, instead of who, it will come Yagdor threw the old woman far away because she was the wicked spirit in the form of old woman who threw his companion into the hole of fire. Paragraph questions. Question 1. How did Yagdor take care of his old grandparents? Answer will be Yagdor took up the responsibility of maintaining the family by gathering chunks of wood and selling them. Question 2. Describe the incident that took place when Yagdor went to grassland along with the villagers. One day Yagdor went to a stretch of grassland in the company of other people of the village to gather firewood. As soon as they reached that stretch of grassland, the elephant that headed the animal kingdom there appeared in front of them. The entire group of people from the village who went there ran away fast when they saw the elephant. While running, Yagdor stumbled against something and fell down, thus allowing the elephant to catch up with him. He knew the elephant was about to trample him. He closed his eyes and faked being dead. The elephant then pushed Yagdor here and there with his legs. In the process, Yagdor fell into a hole. Finding it inconvenient to deal with the man in the hole, the elephant left the spot. When Yagdor's old grandparents did not see him amongst the group of people returning from the grassland, they asked the group where he was. On hearing from the people that an elephant had attacked them in the grassland, they took Yagdor for death and wept bitterly. Just then the boy turned up. The old couple's joy at seeing their grandchild again knew no bounds. The people of the village with whom Yagdor had gone to grassland were also amazed at the boy's return. They wondered whether they saw a real elephant or merely a tree stump or just an illusion. Question number 3. Describe Yagdo's triumph against the fish. While continuing to swim for some time, Yagdor could see a huge fish near the other bank of the river waiting to swallow them. When the fish was not far away from the four swimmers, he caught hold of his companions one after the other and threw them to the land on the bank one after the other. Then he caught the fish by its tail and made an effort to heave it up to land, but it was the fish which pulled him into the water. Then, in his next attempt, Yagdo succeeded in pulling the fish up to land, but the fish managed to jerk itself back into water, taking Yagdo with it. This seesaw went on for some time, but finally Yagdo scored a triumph against fish, which now lay on the ground on the bank of the river. Next, question 4. How did Yagdo retaliate to the old woman and why? On reaching the village, Yagdor incidentally stopped at the same house where the old woman was sitting on the platform annexed to the veranda in the front side of the house. The old woman asked him to fetch the fire himself. Yagdor turned back and caught hold of the evil spirit in the form of an old woman. He lifted her up and whirling her round and round overhead like a bubong, a simple device, usually the top end of small tall grass, which when twirled very speedily overhead in a circular manner produces a sound and can be thrown to a great distance, threw her up and away to a great distance with tremendous force. He did so because she was the evil spirit in the form of old woman, and he sensed this when he did not find his companion over there. He did so because of the following reasons. Number 1, in order to protect his life. Number 2, to take the revenge of his companions. Number 3, to teach the wicked spirit a lesson who was in the form of an old lady. Essay questions. Question 1. What are the supernatural situations that contribute to the story? First supernatural situation that contributed to the story was the fight between Yagdor and the fish. The strength of Yagdor and fish was near about equal, which is expressed by the word seesaw, which tells how competitive both of them were, that the fight happened between water and land, and finally the fish lost and Yagdor won. Second supernatural situation was salivation of his three companions who never tasted the fish. Because usually people get salivated when they are familiar with the taste, but these three have never tasted the fish. Third supernatural situation was when the old lady kicked the three companions of Jagdor into the hole of fire when they bent to pick up a brand of fire from that hole. Fourth supernatural situation was when all of a sudden Jagdor turned back and whirled the old lady round and round and threw her away to a great distance with tremendous force, and this force was so tremendous that it made the earth to shake, which was considered as the earthquake. And this shake was so strong that these spirits got scared, got frightened, and they fled from the place out of Haribari. And after that, the spirits on the earth have preferred to remain in invisible form.